to celebrate the life of my Aunt Tyndall. Um, the arrangements will be the 19th of this month. So, keep us in your prayer. It's a journey. So, as you know, I'm live on in our Facebook group and on YouTube. So I'm super excited. Today's topic is how to work through mental triggers as you are restoring your marriage. Okay. Drop a one if your boo has done anything to trigger you. Just like it doesn't even have to be something major. He just did something. He was breathing too aggressively. Sometimes they'll do things that will make you reflect on what has happened, and not necessarily, it could be a scent sometimes. I love cool water. Well, I used to love cool water cologne, and unfortunately that was a cologne that my ex-husband wore all the time. Well, not all the time, but it was just one of those scents that he wore that I loved. And I tried to allow my current husband to wear that. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna. It triggered all the red flags. All. It triggered everything. Just everything. So of course I realized that that was something I needed to heal from. Because we should not allow our triggers to make us react out of character. Of course, things are going to come up. And that's the thing that we have to understand. Things are always going to come up. The enemy's always going to be throwing darts. He's on his job 24/7. He's always trying to get you to react. He's always trying to get you to do things out of character. He wants to divide your home. He wants you divorced. And until you get this in your head, like, the devil wants you to be divorced. He wants your marriage to end in divorce. And he's working overtime. Why is the enemy attacking your marriage so hard? Because he knows when daddy leaves or when mommy leaves and they live in separate homes, the children will be affected. Mommy will be affected. Daddy will. There's so many dynamics associated with divorce. Now, I'm not saying stay in your marriage and ignore stuff. If anyone who has worked with me knows, if he's still out in them streets, you need to leave him out in them streets. Point blank in the period. You cannot restore your marriage with someone who is still out in them streets. It's one thing for him to make a mistake, a mistake, and he turns from his sin. He realizes he was wrong. He no longer wants to go out in them streets. Okay, he's dedicated to working on the marriage. See, I work with women whose husbands made a mistake, realize they made a mistake, own their mistake, own what they have done wrong, and they're now dedicated to marriage and rebuilding. If he's still out in them streets, there's nothing you can do. Mm-mm. Okay, well, let me. I can't say there's nothing. Prayer does a lot. Okay, but you don't want to waste time and energy pouring into something that. Oh, I'm deviating here. Point blank in the period, sweetness. If he's still out in the streets and he wants to be in them streets, okay. But I work with women whose husbands have turned and said, you know what, I'm sorry, I need to make amends, we need to rebuild, and they're focused on the rebuilding process. Okay. So triggers. Okay. So like I already said, the enemy is going to constantly try to make you remember things. The thing about infidelity, there's always thoughts. One of the biggest battles is in your mind, but because you're rehearsing what was done, you're rehearsing what he said, you're rehearsing what you conjured up in your imagination also, because he can tell you everything that happened, but your mind, you're naturally going to conjure some other things up on your own. So one of the biggest battles is what you rehearse in your mind. Okay, so here are the things that I need you to know. It's okay to be angry. Number one. Yes, we love Jesus. We love the Lord, and we're Christ-like, and we're, these Proverbs women, and we live upright, and we're filled with the Holy Spirit. Yes, but you're also human. And you're allowed to be angry about what happened. You're allowed to be angry. Now, remember, be angry and sin not. Be angry and sin not. Don't cuss them out. Because you know the saints do cuss sometimes, right? I'm just saying. Like sometimes the saints cuss. They're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. But sometimes the saints cuss. I'm just saying. So you have to, don't attack him, don't hit him, don't throw stuff at him, don't curse him, and don't. You have to make sure that in the midst of your anger that you're processing it properly. But do not feel guilty for feeling anger about what has happened. You rightfully so. Your marriage was violated. Okay, so walk in grace with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Do not condemn yourself because you are feeling some kind of way about what was done. Okay, so I'm giving you permission to feel angry. Okay, also, if you're watching this, whether it's now or later on, share this. Just share it on social media. You just never know who's going to see it. You never know who needs to see it. If you know someone who's struggling with infidelity, go ahead and share it with them. Okay? Because it's my goal. I just want to help so many women. I just want to empower women to take back their marriages, to snatch their marriage out of the hands of the enemy, to empower them to work with their husband to restore their marriage in a way that's so much better than it was before. That's just what I want to do. Okay, that's how I want to let the Lord use me. Okay. So share this, okay? And then so don't beat up on yourself about being angry. Number two, understand that triggers are natural. Um, it does not mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you have to overcompensate in trying to control things. What it means is the enemy, number one, the enemy knows you're on the right path. He knows that you're working towards healing. He knows that you're trying to do this in a Christ-like way, and you're trying to allow God to do what only God can do. So the enemy's going to do his best to stop you. He wants you to walk away, be angry, and break up your happy home, or break up the home that you're now trying to rebuild a strong foundation and you're trying to rebuild. So expect and anticipate that there will be issues, that there will be times when you feel like I can't do this. I can't do this. Anticipate that. Look, without infidelity, there's times when you will feel like, you know what, I can't do this no more. This is natural, okay? But the whole point is that you want to make sure that you don't give your power away. You have control over how long that thought stays in your mind. Thoughts will come. Thoughts will come. That's what the enemy's doing. He's just like he's throwing darts at you constantly. But it's up to you to decide how long those thoughts will reside. Don't let the thoughts take up ownership inside your brain and just take up they done brought their suitcase and it's just in your head, and it now lives there. Don't do that. God gave you power to control your mind. He said, taking captive every thought. And this is one of my favorite scriptures to refer to. Take captive every thought. That means every single thought that comes to your mind, every single concept, every single memory, everything. God gave you power to take captive and control those thoughts and send them back to the pits of hell. You don't have to rehearse. One of the worst things you could do is rehearse the issue and rehearse what was done, especially when you're working towards rebuilding. You don't want to do that. So let's make sure that you are walking in and being very self-aware of what you're thinking about. Be very self-aware about how long you meditate on those thoughts. And what I tell my clients sometimes, give yourself, a little time. There's nothing wrong with having a little minute. You want to get yourself some ice cream, sit on the couch. It's like, ooh, I'm a little frustrated right now. There's nothing wrong with that. But when that turns into 24 hours have gone by, a couple hours have gone by, you need to set some boundaries even with your own thoughts. Now, what I say is don't give it any room. Don't give it any room. The thought comes, you reject it. The thought comes, you reject it, because this is the thing. The longer you let it reside, the more it will grow and the harder it'll be to turn off that thought. So you want to make sure that you're intentional about controlling, taking captive every thought. Do not let it take roots. Okay. And then the third thing, how do you start your day? Like, I am big on starting your day with God. And I have my own morning rituals. I have my own habits of things that I do. If you're not on my list yet, you probably want to go ahead and click the link in the description and join my list, because I'm always sharing tips about morning routines. But my morning routine, it starts out with God. And I know it may seem cliche, but it works. When I don't do my routine, when I don't read my Bible, when I don't do my gratitude list, when I don't work out, when I don't read my affirmations, when I don't sit and meditate on the word of God, those scriptures that I just read, when I don't do that, my day feels off. My day feels unbalanced. Now, does that mean that, oh, I didn't do it today and everything's going to go wrong? No, that's not what that means. But I have more peace. I have more control when things come at me, because you already know stuff's going to happen throughout the day. It's going to bother you. It's going to irritate you. It's going to get on your nerves. Be prepared. Gird up. Start your day ready for what's about to happen. And then you'll be amazed at how you respond to things. One of the things the Lord has blessed me with is a delayed reaction. And it's an ongoing joke. It's an ongoing joke that my hubby and I, we're always joke about, because the Lord's blessed me with this thing. And I call it, it's my delayed reaction, where I'm from New York, okay? If you don't know me, I'm a chocolate girl from from New York, boogie down for life, Bronx baby, Co-op City. Shout out to Section 5. Okay. If you don't know Co-op City, if you don't know the Bronx, that was probably foreign to you. But so I say that to say, I was born with fire. Like, she stayed ready. She stayed ready with sarcasm. She stayed ready to tell you what you're not gonna do. She stayed ready to tell you what you better do. She stayed ready to hurt your feelings. Like, I have a gift of saying things that I should not say. Like hurting feelings. So I have to be intentional about, one, watching my mouth and being very careful of how I react. So anywho, let's get back to this delayed reaction. Things will happen. People will say stuff and I won't react. And it'll be an hour later, 2 hours later, the Lord always makes sure they're no longer in my presence. And I reflect on what they had said. And I be like, did she just say, did he just say, I know I didn't hear what did he just say? And I'll think of all the things that I would have said, well, then come to my mind. And it's like, okay, I'm so glad the Lord has blessed me with this delayed reaction, so that I don't say the things that my flesh quickly wants to say, to make sure everybody understands who not to play with, because I'm not the one to play with. Okay. So so I say that to say, part of the reason why my delayed reaction works so effectively is because I start my days off correctly. I'm very intentional about what I pour into myself. Like, very intentional. Like, if you come to my house to watch TV, no, I'm not watching, Bible stories all day. I'm not watching sermons all day. No, I'm not reading the Bible all day. Like, I have a very chill home. Like, we're very, very relaxed here. But like, certain things I'm not going to watch. Like reality shows, most of these housewives stuff, you're not going to see me watching it. Now, there are times when I do watch it, but like literally my spirit will start to get vexed. And I'll be like, you know what? I ain't going to be able to watch these angry women no more. No more. I'm very intentional about, like, certain things that are dark, things where there's anger, things where there's violence. I make sure I don't pour those things into myself, because remember, your spirit, whatever you feed your mind, whatever you feed your heart, whatever you feed yourself is going to grow. And when you have to be careful of what you're allowing into your eyes and into your mind, because those things will begin to grow in your heart. Okay. So yes, being very mindful about how you start your day. Prayer, Bible study. Some people do yoga. I'm not sure about yoga. I've heard some things about yoga, and I'm not sure. And I haven't done research. But what your girl will do is get on that treadmill and she'll walk for 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes. Okay. And it just helps. It just makes me feel so much better. Okay. So, how to work through mental triggers while you're restoring your marriage. One, you're allowed to be angry. It's okay. You can be angry. Two, understand the triggers are natural and understand that it's an attack from the enemy. It's an assault from the enemy. He's trying to destroy you mentally because he knows if he has your mind, he got you. Okay. And then three, be mindful of how you start your day and how you're feeding what you're feeding your mind and your spirit every day. Okay. So I hope this helps. Um, if in case you're just now logging on, I'm Mauritius Hollins, the founder of Connecting Love and Marriage and the Elite Empowered Wife. I am offering, I have a complimentary ebook that you can click the link. Well, if you're in my Facebook group, you probably already have my ebook, The Comprehensive Guide to Restoring Your Marriage. If you're checking this on YouTube, go ahead, click the link, grab the ebook. If you are ready, meaning your husband is dedicated to the marriage and rebuilding, you are ready to be self-reflective, you're ready to heal, you're ready to create boundaries, and you're ready to be intentional about getting off the emotional roller coaster that you're on so that you can restore your marriage. If you're serious about that, you probably want to apply for the Elite and Empowered Wife. It's an amazing program where I work with wives to get them through the process of healing, creating those necessary boundaries in their life, how to properly take care of themselves. Because as ambitious women, we're normally taking care of others and we're doing all the things for others. But time out for that. We're going to take care of ourselves too. Okay. So click the link. You definitely want to apply, or you can go to connectingloveandmarriage.com backslash apply and you'll enter your information, and then you'll get all the emails necessary to get you in our system so that we can interview. Okay, so I'm super excited about what's coming up. Every Monday, remember, we'll be meeting for Marriage Mondays at 5:30 Central Time. If you're not on my list, make sure that you click the link in my bio, in my description, so you don't miss the emails. Okay. If you're on my list and you didn't get an invitation to this, DM me, because we need to make sure your email is working. Also, turn on notifications. Turn on notifications so that way you'll be notified the minute I go live. Okay. So I hope you have an amazing day. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions. Know that I love you, and comment below if you have any questions about anything. If you have questions about marriage or the Elite and Empowered Wife. All right. Hope you have an amazing day. Bye. Oh, also, once again, thank you so much for your prayers. I appreciate all of you. Just continue praying. All right. And love each other. Like, seriously, call everyone, call your family, love on your people, love on your people, love on your people. All right. Love you. Bye. So let me end this and stream here. Okay. So I ended